Donald Trump has the coronavirus. It's official. Along with the First Lady, Melania, the presidential power couple have contracted COVID-19. Goodbye, monetization. But this is an important story because it will have a huge reverberating effect on the stock market, the presidential race, and Bitcoin. Could Donald Trump getting COVID make Bitcoin moon? It's certainly in the realm of possibility, as crazy as it sounds. Let's get it. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Every day I show you how to make money in crypto. Today, we're going to be discussing the recent diagnosis of Donald Trump and its effect on the markets. We will also be taking a look at a huge story in crypto as BitMEX CEO Arthur Hayes may be going to prison for 5 years. Then we're going to wrap it up by looking at a story about Cardano. I'll just say this. There's a super sexy lady of your dreams, or maybe your nightmares, who's dumped Ethereum and is now eyeing ADA. Then our friend and fellow YouTuber CryptoWendyO will join us to check out some technical analysis on Cardano. But first, I'm going to be telling you about how Donald Trump getting the coronavirus may be a good thing for the economy and the markets, and in turn, Bitcoin. And no, I don't mean I'm excited he might die, for those of you guys thinking I'm some kind of hippie lib. Any of you guys that think that must not actually watch the channel. But the funniest thing to me, honestly, when I do political videos, and I've seen it time after time, is somehow Biden supporters and Trump supporters think I'm coming at their guy. I get so many hate comments on these videos. Guys, I'm being neutral, fair to both, and willing to point out flaws in both as well. This is not a political channel, so I try to keep my personal opinions to the side, so I guess I've done a pretty good job if everyone hates me. Maybe that's what I did in school too. But the biggest issue right now, obviously, is that Donald Trump has contracted the coronavirus. Think of the irony of the mask discussion that occurred during the debate the other night.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
The irony of this conversation is not lost on anyone. However, the fact is we do not know the effectiveness of masks to prevent coronaviruses in spite of what the greeter at Walmart may or may not accuse you of. Even the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, published a paper saying, although mechanistic studies support the potential effect of hand hygiene or face masks, evidence from 14 randomized controlled trials of these measures did not support a substantial effect on transmission of laboratory-confirmed influenza. While, of course, this is talking about the flu, it does apply to the coronavirus because they're obviously both viral respiratory infections or spread the same way. And even more irony, I heard several conservative people I know predicting that Joe Biden would actually use the tactic of faking a coronavirus infection in order to win sympathy and avoid the debates. I heard so many people telling me this over the last few weeks. Then we get this news only 3 days after the debate that everyone agrees was terrible for both sides. Conservatives believed Biden would fake the coronavirus because it would help him win. So now that Trump actually has the coronavirus, will this help or hurt his chances to be reelected? That is the biggest question, and I've been playing about this based on a lot of reading I've done. And once again, this is not political, but a Trump win would be better for Bitcoin in the short term. And obviously, the markets would prefer this. But the markets also are anticipating a Biden win, according to many financial analysts. So there are 3 possible outcomes from this for Trump. And I believe all 3 are positive in a way for Trump or the Republicans or that side of the aisle. Scenario number 1 is he gets it. His symptoms are minimal and he comes out being able to reiterate to his base that it is no big deal. He looks like a winner. Scenario number 2 is that he gets it very rough and ends up on a ventilator but pulls through. Then he is able to suddenly reverse course on his opinion on COVID. He can then say he now understands how serious it is and will treat it as such. Then he's able to pull independents and undecided voters closer to him. Scenario number 3, and listen guys, this is dark, but it has to be said. If God forbid he were to die from the virus, by far the most unlikely scenario, he's got the best healthcare in the world, then suddenly, all of the never-Trumpers, as they call them, would immediately vote for Pence. And what's more, in that doomsday situation for the country and his family, Pence would be able to pick a woman or a diverse candidate for his vice president, which, in my opinion, would basically lock up a Republican win. All three scenarios result in a benefit to the markets, in my opinion. So this is the biggest story we've probably seen since the actual beginning of the virus outbreak. It's pretty unbelievable, really. But what do you think? Do you believe that this situation is positive or negative for Donald Trump or the Republican Party or the markets? Let me know down below in the comments section. But one reason I believe that all the scenarios could be positive for the markets is that they have not reacted very dramatically to this news. It has not stirred up any fear. If this were viewed as negative, then the markets would have plummeted. The fear is a Biden win, so we did not see a major sell-off. That's the fear for the markets. As mentioned earlier, though, the markets have also been hedging their bets against a Biden win, anticipating it. But they obviously would certainly welcome a Trump win. So not sure what the markets would think about a possible Pence presidency, though. But one thing that did get the markets all riled up was the news that broke yesterday that the CFTC investigation had concluded against BitMEX. And I'll say this, the results were not good for anyone involved with that exchange. According to the Commodities Futures Trading Commission website, the CFTC has now charged the BitMEX owners with illegally operating a cryptocurrency derivatives trading platform and anti-money laundering violations. I don't see any way the BitMEX does not get shut down at this point. I mean, how could they not? But give me 1 second, guys. This segment was brought to you by Bybit, an alternative leverage trading site to BitMEX. Bybit is known for its 100x leverage and lack of CFTC ongoing investigations. You can get up to $100 when you deposit on Bybit by visiting bybit.bitboy.live. I have no conscience. But what's even crazier is that there have also been criminal charges filed against founder Arthur Hayes and the 3 co-owners of the site, one of which has already been arrested in the state of Massachusetts. They've all been indicted in Manhattan, and they are each facing up to 5 years in prison. And before you say something like,
"Oh, these white-collar guys always get slaps on the wrist,"
that's for bankers, not for people in cryptocurrency. Expect the book to be thrown at Arthur. I'm sure the author didn't mean for the book to get thrown at Arthur. Many people have been very frightened by this news, and we saw a huge Bitcoin sell-off. But other people are excited about it because they hate the king of leverage trading shills, Mr. Hayes. But I was told a long time ago by the CEO of a huge exchange in crypto that the reason BitMEX would go down is because it was ran by Americans. I mean, think about it. Pretty hard to file criminal charges in America against Chinese citizens living in China. So think about that. Lastly, let's check out that hottie with a mechanical body, Sophia the robot. The AI firm behind Sophia the AI robot, SingularityNet, has actually dropped Ethereum and is now possibly moving over from the Ethereum blockchain to rival Cardano's blockchain. The CEO, Ben Gertzel, believes that Cardano could possibly be better for some things they need the AI to do. He said, if the Cardano portion works much better, then everything should migrate there. If it turns out the Ethereum portion is more useful for some purposes, the Cardano portion is useful for some purposes, then so be it, right? Pretty crazy though if tech companies feel more comfortable with Cardano than Ethereum, something to watch out for. But let's check in with friend CryptoWendyO to look at some technical analysis on ADA. Hey Wendy, it's great to see you as always. I know the markets are in a slump right now, but hopefully you can tell us something bullish about Cardano. What's going on with it?
Thank you for having me back, BitBoy, and shout out to the Bit Squad. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at another potential moonshot with the one and only Cardano, aka ADA. So you guys, as most of you know, that Bitcoin is currently going sideways. There's a lot of consolidation, there's a lot of volatility, and that's impacting alts negatively. We're seeing a lot of alts move sideways and even dump. However, this always proposes a great opportunity to make money. And with Cardano in particular, we're seeing a potential swing trade for about 40 to 104%. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chart. So we're hitting some heavy resistance here at about 10 cents, where the EMA 50 and the EMA 100 meet, essentially pushing price down. We've had multiple attempts to break, but we haven't been there yet. We haven't been able to achieve that. MACD is also looking strong. However, if you take a closer look and you look at the 4 hour, we're going to start to see some bending there, which is going to indicate that price is going to continue to head down. Right now, we're balancing on the EMA 9 and the EMA 21, and I'm feeling like we are going to break and essentially head down to the EMA 200, which is this pink line here at about 9 cents. If we break the EMA 200, that could be really, really ugly. However, if we do break the EMA 100, we'll get down to about 7 cents, which actually gives you guys an even better entry. One of the things that I'm noticing is there's a lot of heavy support at about 7 cents, and there's a pretty heavy support here at the EMA 200. So if you were able to get in at about 9 cents and ride it all the way up to our first target at about 12 cents, that is a 40% gain. If you get in at about 8-9 cents and you're able to ride that up to our second target to about 15 cents, that's a 70% gain. And if the EMA 200 breaks and we fall to about 7 cents and you're able to catch that knife, you can ride it all the way up to about 104%. So overall, macro-wise, long-term, again, this trade is going to take a while to play out. ADA should continue to do well if we hold the support at about 7 cents. Good luck and practice risk management.
Thanks as always, Wendy, for joining the channel. You guys make sure to go follow her for daily TA and crypto news. That's all I got. Be blessed. BitBoy out.